What's going on, guys? Oh my, Godzilla back here with another Godzilla figure review from our friends over at HIYA Toys. Today we are checking out their Godzilla 2014 figure in their Exquisite Basic Series. A lot of great things about this figure. Can't wait to jump right in.
Oh my god!
Quickly checking out the packaging of the figure. Very good image of Godzilla. Yes, I am surprised the packaging is not more of like a poster color version, kind of with those more of like the yellows and browns and stuff. So I was surprised to see it was a blue box, but that's okay. Still very cool images of Godzilla, and ultimately the box is just the box. What we care about is inside. Let's dive in. Godzilla 2014 from HIYA stands just under 7 inches tall and about 13 inches long, so a pretty decent sized figure. But yes, this figure is smaller, so it kind of stays in scale with the other Godzillas because Godzilla grew between 2014 and King of the Monsters. So very cool that they did that. We'll compare sizes in a little bit, but to start, guys, I really want to take a look at paint and detail. So starting off with those classic Godzilla 2014 elephant feet, he's got those very nice big kind of chunky feet with the toe claws. Very big, nice detail on the claws there. You almost have a hint of kind of like a reddish orange paint shining through. You kind of see on some of the areas on this figure, but great detail. Moving up the legs, very good. He's got kind of the browns kind of laced inside his scales, which adds to the detail. Very good, lots of different textures where you kind of got the scales and you kind of got the bumpy sections here on the top of the thigh. Same kind of deal on the side of the calf here. Moving into the side of the body, you do have all those great textures that we've come to know and love from Godzilla as he kind of transitions from his scales into those big spines, which of course aren't as big as they normally are because he's got the smaller 2014 spines. While I do think the King of the Monsters did make the spines better, there is something I really love about these 2014 spines. It's a very unique take on Godzilla's spines. It's just kind of a cool thing. So I'm really glad HIYA Toys threw their hat in the ring and did a version of this figure. Great, more kind of scaling detail on the arms. Moving into the hands, small complaint. I wish the hand claws were painted a little darker or something, just to kind of show a little bit more of a difference between them and just the regular hand. So that's something that could be fixed. Great different colors on the inside used, kind of that lighter greenish gray paint. Again, inside of the hands have slightly a lazy paint job. No hand claws painted there. So there's a small minor complaint, but that's okay. Nothing too big. Moving in kind of the middle of the chest area. Same kind of detail we've come to expect and the sculpt from Godzilla 2014. I think they did a great job capturing it overall. Very good. You got the really pronounced kind of gills on the side of the neck there. Very good there. And then the face, guys, is pretty good. One complaint, the eyes, both pupils are like really set inward. So you can kind of see on the eyes there, the pupils are both really set in, which looks fine here. But if he's looking straight at you, the eyes look a little bit goofy. Mouth is fine. The teeth could be a little bit better sculpted, but that's okay. Detail on the bottom of the mouth is slightly present. Top of the mouth, a little bit of that detail in there. We do have an articulated tongue. It's very loosely articulated, but it is articulated. Moving into the kind of the back of the figure, we kind of saw the great detail on those spines. He does look very good. Tail looks good as well. Very, very nice long tail. Lots of little segments. So for great articulation and posability, they did a great job coming up with these scales. These are all nice and solid, pointy spines on the back. So all of it looks very, very good, very segmented tail until you get to the end, which is interesting. The segments kind of get a little bit bigger, and then the back segment of the tail is like this whole piece here. So that's kind of interesting, but that's okay. I don't really have any complaints about lack of posability on the end piece of the tail. So overall, very, very solid effort from HIYA Toys on paint and detail for this figure. Guys, articulation on this figure took me a minute to kind of warm up those joints. They were really tight, and it was actually when I first got him out of the packaging, I was like, he was really set in his way on being like longer, stretched out as opposed to more upright. So I definitely took some kind of work in the tail, work in the legs to get him to a point where I felt a little better about his posability and kind of moving those joints around, just kind of warming him up. So this figure, a little more than other HIYA releases, has needed a little bit more of, warming up and just kind of keeping his joints moving to get him so they're a lot more posable. But this guy does have great articulation. Checking out that articulation, starting with the foot. So we do have good movement on the foot here, spinning, and a little bit of point and flex there. The knee obviously comes in kind of the 2 segments, giving him pretty good range of motion. And then the hip is on a spin, so you can get good forward and backward motion out of it. And you can also get a little bit of that kind of in and out. Not a ton, not as much as with some other figures, but you can get a little bit of it so that joint is kind of movable. Moving up the body, we do have a spot for torso articulation without really forcing it. You can't get a ton, but enough to kind of pose him, and he gets a little bit of good up and down looking. So you can really pose this guy, you know, looking downward pretty well as kind of, you know, put those legs back and get him upright so he stands up a little taller. Neck has lots of good segments like we just kind of saw, so you can get him, the head really looking up and down, side to side looks good. Obviously, we check out the mouth does move. The tongue is a little bit kind of movable, not overly, but it moves a little bit and kind of holds a pose there. It might not actually be articulation. It might just be, I don't actually think it's articulated. I lied in my earlier thing. I think this is just, I don't know, maybe it's articulated. It's very hard to tell. So, but the tongue can move a little bit. Arms, guys, so you do have good movement at the shoulder and in and out. Elbow can go from pretty much a straight to a pretty much a right angle, which is good. And then those forearms do kind of move, so you can kind of pose him, you know, move that forearm in and out. Wrist does get good movement here, and obviously a great swivel 360 on that. And the tail is pretty good at posability, you know, without really getting into him. Upward, good downward, good side to side. And I love those noises. Ah, it's nice. So overall, great posability and articulation from this Godzilla. And he does come with those two other hands, kind of a, you know, a fist hand. So if you wanted to take off the kind of open hands and put a fist hand in, you could. And they're actually, you know, open enough that you can put something in there. So if you have other little stuff, maybe the Super 7 little person or something, or, you know, whatever you want, if you have little toys that you want to stick in there, he can hold stuff. So that's kind of fun. And they are actually kind of seemingly almost different sculpts on these two hands. You can see that one of the hands is, the left hand here's a little tighter grip than the other one. So there's two hands, so you can swap out the hands if you so please. I'm really hoping we get at some point a Spitfire version like SH Monster Arts did of this figure, so we can, you know, with the Muto head and, you know, nice glowing spines. I think that would be really awesome to get, to see HIYA's take on the decapitated Muto. Let's get into some size comparisons. Oh boy. So we're dealing with a lot of different sizing, kind of sizes. You know, the HIYA Toys stuff kind of is more or less in a 7-inch scale. Obviously, this guy's a little smaller. But I want to start off, guys, let's take a look at the NECA figure. So here's NECA side by side. It looks great. NECA really, I think this figure really holds up. Obviously, not quite in the league of HIYA Toys, just because HIYA Toys does, you know, cost more. So they are going to be a little bit, you know, better articulation and detail and whatnot. But I think NECA figure really does a good job of holding up against this HIYA Toys Godzilla 2014. This is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2014. I forgot how badly they did on nailing the kind of foot. But anyways, guys, so here's the SH Monster Arts one. Obviously, this guy's kind of standing up a little higher. I could tilt him down a little bit better that way. But so this guy still, I think, looks pretty darn good overall. It's tough to say which one I like better than, I don't know, something about HIYA Toys is just hard to beat. I do love that this tail is on SH Monster Arts. It's so fluid. This is like my first SH Monster Arts figure I ever got. And I just remember being like, oh my goodness, these tails are so fun. That is crazy how awesome, how cool those tails are. Same sculpt we just saw in the SH Monster Arts Godzilla, but this is the Spitfire one I was talking about if anyone was unfamiliar with it. Awesome kind of atomic spines. And then holding that decapitated Muto head after the kiss of death. So that would be really cool if HIYA Toys tackled this figure at some point next. I assume we'll get an atomic version of 2014, but I wonder if they will throw in the Muto head. That would just be super awesome. Just wanted to show the 2014 against the Movie Monster Series Bandai's. There we go, Muto, Godzilla 2014. Godzilla's actually standing almost close to eye. Obviously, the Bandai, you know, a lot smaller spines, a lot shorter tail, and then a lot less articulation and whatnot. But just wanted to show those side by side. Here's the little Muto. Good to see those guys kind of side by side as well. Here's the Bandai Premium, highly articulated, awesome Muto set. I'm obsessed with this set. Here's how they're scaling. Not too bad. I think the Mutos are a little on the big side, but that's okay. They look great nonetheless. That female Muto really is huge. Giant Bandai right there. Boom! Looks awesome! I love these figures so much, guys. This is my first time seeing HIYA Toys Godzilla side by side with another HIYA Toys Godzilla, so obviously 2014 over here, and then this is the updated version of the Godzilla vs. Kong one. I did not expect him to be that much taller. That is a pretty big height difference, but I actually like it. That's really cool. It makes the 2014 Godzilla really unique. That's a very cool height change. Very awesome. And then you can see the spine differences, obviously, and everything. Very cool to see those two figures side by side. And here is our Muto from HIYA Toys right there. Guys, Muto, she seems a little small to me. I haven't watched 2014 in a minute, but I thought she was a little bit bigger. I thought the Bandai was a little too big, and I think she's a little too small here. So, but I think they look great together. They're probably scaled pretty well. If HIYA Toys probably did a good job, I'm probably being picky. But there they are side by side, the Muto and the Godzilla 2014, both from HIYA Toys. That's very cool. Very awesome to see those guys side by side, locked in combat. And this Muto is so posable, guys. You could definitely do some very, very cool poses with her and Godzilla kind of in battle. Very, very awesome. I'll have to mess around with her a little bit more and make it so she's battle ready with him. But there's the Muto 2014, and then I got Godzilla 2014, both of which from HIYA Toys. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the HIYA Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla 2014 figure. Retails for $50. Right now you can get it. I normally buy mine from INS Hobby or right from HIYA Toys directly if you don't mind paying a little extra for shipping. If not, you can definitely wait for Big Bad Toy Store and the likes of the other sites that don't charge as much for shipping, but get it a little later. And guys, I'm definitely a huge fan of this figure. It's got some flaws that I could nitpick if I really wanted to, but I think this figure is really, really cool. I love that it's smaller than the rest of the HIYA Toy stuff. Scales kind of well. I like how they're kind of building their own sizing, like Godzilla 2014 scales well with 2019. That's very cool, I think, to me. So it's awesome to see kind of HIYA Toys keeping their own sizing scale kind of to accurate. So that's very awesome. This figure is definitely amazing. Would definitely recommend. I have not recommended a single HIYA Toys product thus far, guys. So let me know your thoughts on this figure in the comment section below. Let me know if you're picking it up or passing on it, and if so, why. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next one. That's the stuff.